Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Millman. Hiking along the Truckee River, I was reminded of an interesting story, beautiful story that I heard Zig Ziglar tell. It took place in Virginia in the middle of the winter, and sitting at the bank of a river waiting to cross was an elderly man. The elderly man had no way of getting across the partially frozen river, so until a group of horsemen came along and he saw that this was his chance. One after one, the horsemen crossed the river, and the elderly man just stood there waiting to cross. When the last horseman came by, the elderly man looked up at him and said, "Sir, would you please help me across the river?" And the last horseman looked down at him and said, "Of course." He lifted the elderly man up onto the horse, and they crossed the river together. The river was partially frozen. It was the middle of winter. And then the horseman deposited the elderly man down on the ground, and he said, "I don't understand." He looked down at the elderly man and said, "I don't understand. All these other horsemen crossed the river, and you waited until I was about to cross, the last one in the line, and you asked me, why is that?" And the elderly man said, "It's very simple. When I looked at the other horsemen crossing the river, I saw no care and I saw no concern in their eyes. And when I looked into your eyes, I saw that care and concern." And with that, the final horseman looked down and said thank you to the man, and then he, Thomas Jefferson, the last man on the horse, rode off to the White House. This is a story of Thomas Jefferson. He was the last horseman and gave the elderly man a ride across the river. So the moral of the story is this, is that each one of us is that last horseman in the line of horses with the ability to help an elderly man across the river. And when that person looks into our eyes, will they see the care and concern that the elderly man saw in Thomas Jefferson's eyes? A willingness and a concern and an eagerness to help. Because each one of us probably is that last horseman for somebody. We don't know who they are, we don't know who it is, but someone probably needs our assistance. And we should offer that assistance. And if they were to look into our eyes, would they see that care and concern, knowing that we have an interest and the ability and a willingness to help them? Thank you very much for watching.